So I'm out walking in the rain, and I'm just walking, and I don't mind the rain because I'm like, rain strengthens the flowers, or grows flowers and strengthens roots. But then, as I'm walking, I'm humming in my head or singing to myself, and then I'm thinking about the book, God's books, all the Bibles, the different versions. There's got the, King James, the new translation, the Book of Mormon, and I'm like, so then I start seeing patterns. And then I talk a lot about consciousness being placed into birds and dogs and babies, and that people can be transferred out of their bodies. And then I'm noticing, and again, I made a video before about like witches and certain flowers and things. But then, so in the cults and covens and these contracts and things. And there's a video by Danny and Lainey, and like dancing in the sky, and there's a bunch of names that go through the video, and when you know, um, those names are all people that were sacrificed by this fucking demonic witchy cult and coven. And when I'm out walking and I'm looking at the different houses in the neighborhood, I'm out walking, and you notice some houses have lots of gardens and big beautiful trees, or lots of clutter on the porch, or certain types of shrubbery. But again, it says in the book about the being humble and plain and meek, and because again, those are the ones that are not a part of this. And then I'm looking at the houses with the trees and the gardens and the shrubs, and then I get a vision or memory that clicks, and I'm like, those are people. And now I always had made, like, I have folders in my phone, or like tree people, ghosts, these things and that. And if you look at the trees, you'll see faces and eyes and certain knots or certain ways. But the shrubs are all, these are people, like, and again, think about it, the family tree. But these, like, individual certain shrubs, they're literally people. They're prisoners. They're part of this contract. And, like, once you, and then right now I'm like soaking wet, but I'm like, how can I even want to be dry or want a cigarette or anything to eat when I know that so many people in the world are 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 just suffering. And again, they're you don't even know what these people do, like, and I don't want to tell you because it's so ungodly. And I'm literally, I cried in the rain. I'm like so tired of crying but it hurts so much that these certain people are literally stuck in this thing. And like once you sign with this cults and covens, like they'll show up. Tree people will literally show up and plant a shrub, and it's like just like they'll have dogs and cats and certain type of birds, and it sounds crazy, but it's so sad because a lot of and then the graveyards, right? The graveyards are so full of people. But if you understood how many people these fucking bitches, and how many husbands and children these people have sacrificed, or wives. And again, there's a big thing too. Like, we think people just suddenly die or suddenly have cancer. No, they're fucking poisoned and literally under spell work, that suddenly they isolate themselves. They shut down. They go within. They won't talk. They won't go outside. They won't do anything. And again, they're being poisoned and under this spell work. And literally, little by little, these succubuses are siphoning their energy or poisoning them. And you'll see, or all of a sudden, like, as more people in their family die, the more their gardens grow. Like, how fucking sick is that? You could take nature and make it so terribly ugly. And these kids and these families. And, like, it's okay on one hand because God is here. And all the children and all the dead, they will, it says in the book, they'll come back. They'll face God, and he'll know who was righteous and who was not. And again, these witches and warlocks and cults and covens, they think they did something, but they only hurt, again, people temporarily. But I just don't understand how so many people can't see or didn't speak up. Like, again, if you know something, speak up. They can't hurt you. They can't hurt you if you let them. Your soul is not for sale, and your children shouldn't be either. And it just makes me so sad because I'm like, this morning I'm like complaining about like I want a cigarette or something, and I don't want anything. I want these people to be free. Like, I don't understand. And I was asking God, like, how could it get like this? And I understand that this is like the devil's domain, okay? Like it says, I get it. And I get it, this is like probation. But it like, and I was like, even this something this morning, like I'm having coffee with my neighbor, and it was so nice. And I'm like, but again, at the same time, it's not nice because literally they're trying to play games. They're trying to poison me or show me a video that's literally like a spell work cast into it, but it doesn't work again because if you walk with the armor of God, you can get through anything. And I just pray that everybody turns to him, and these witches and warlocks and demons just stop, because God even wants them to turn to him. And just like, it doesn't matter what you did with your friends or with these cults or cousins or gangs, or no matter high up on the totem pole, you could choose every day to stop, and you could say, God, I fucked up. God, I'm in too deep. God, I need your help. God, you have to admit it and say, like, I did this, and I'm sorry. Please let me come home, forgive me. And yeah, just like a parent, when you, or a job, if you break a rule, like there's consequences, so you're gonna have to face a punishment, like you have to. But again, take the punishment like a fucking human, a man or a woman, and a parent, and like don't keep. And again, it's not going to keep going because God is here now and the time has come. But again, it's just like I'm looking at these gardens and these houses, and if you knew, there were just so many people and children in these family trees that have a million eyes and knots, and these are all the people that are literally trapped or sacrificed, and for what? For what? For fucking what?